Welcome back to Clean Tech Talk. We're doing a deep dive today into the real muscle behind industrial cleaning. We're talking about commercial floor scrubbers,
Yes.
but more specifically, we're tackling a key business question. How do you get access to that kind of power without, trapping all your capital in a machine that just loses value over time?
That is the real insight here, isn't it? The smartest move financially often isn't ownership at all. It's about avoiding the rapid depreciation, the maintenance headaches, and honestly, just the hassle of storing a giant piece of equipment you might only need a few times a year. Renting gives you all of the capacity with none of the long-term problems, and it's the perfect low-risk way to try before you buy.
Right, absolutely. So let's talk about the machine itself. For anyone who isn't familiar, this is not just a bigger mop, not at all. Think of it more like your mopping routine on steroids. It
Mhm.
uses these rotating pads or brushes to just aggressively scrub the floor with a cleaning solution.
And then there's vacuum.
Yes, the vacuum action is crucial. It immediately lifts all the dirty water, so the result is a floor that's clean and basically dry in minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And while we see these in airports and warehouses, I actually know a homeowner who rented a smaller walk-behind unit. He used it to clean a decade of oil stains off his garage floor before he sold the house. The difference was, unbelievable.
And that's a perfect example of the application stretch.
Hmm.
It's not just for massive commercial spaces.
Hmm.
But when you go to rent one, you need to know which tool fits your specific job. You'll see two main sizes. The walk behind for medium areas, which you sort of push and steer.
Like a lawnmower?
Exactly.
Hmm.
And then you have the big ride-on machines,
Hmm.
the cleaning go-karts for, huge spaces.
But the real nuance, the technical detail, it comes down to how they clean.
Exactly. You have to distinguish between cylindrical and disc scrubbers. It's all about your floor type.
Mhm.
If you've got rugged concrete, uneven surfaces, or a lot of loose debris that needs to be swept up while you're scrubbing, the cylindrical model is what you want. It's built for that.
Okay, so that's for rougher surfaces.
Right. But if your surface is smooth, like epoxy or a nice finished tile, and you need that really deep polished clean, the disc scrubber is your absolute best choice.
Got it. Okay, so this is the critical part for anyone listening. Matching your actual needs to the rental. We've talked about surface type, but you also have to consider the scale of the job and the power source. First, match the machine's coverage rate, its square footage per hour, to your area. But let's look at the money for a second. You say renting is smart, but daily rates can go up to $150. At what point does it just make sense to buy one?
That's the threshold question, sure. And the cost structure really helps you decide. Daily rates are somewhere in that $50 to $150 range, but as soon as you commit to a full week, that's maybe $200 to $500. And for a month, it might be between $600 and $1,200. The cost per day just plummets.
So there's a tipping point.
There is. If your usage is, say, less than 10 days a year, renting is almost always cheaper than the cost of ownership, depreciation, and all that maintenance. And that third factor you mentioned, power, that's all about your environment. Propane is for huge ventilated warehouses. In a hospital or office, you're going to want battery power for the low noise and flexibility.
And before you sign anything, you have to look at the fine print. Those advertised rates aren't the full story. You're going to face delivery charges, which can be 50 to $100 each way. And while it's often optional, getting the insurance or the damage waiver is it's a smart move. Budget about 10 to 15% of the rental cost for that peace of mind.
Ultimately, the process itself is very straightforward. You do your research, provide your ID and credit card, and make sure you get a really thorough demo from the rental provider.
Especially if it's your first time.
Absolutely. And for safety, two things. Always, always clear the area of cords and obstructions before you start. And please, just read the manual. Every machine has its own little quirks.
So what's the big takeaway here? I think the next frontier in cleaning smart isn't just about renting instead of buying. It's about building on that. It's proactively asking the rental companies about their low water usage eco models and specifically asking for eco-certified green cleaning solutions. You can have clean floors and a clean conscience. And as a special thank you to our listeners, you can now enjoy 10% off your next purchase at Aolith. Just use the promo code AOLITH2025 at checkout. That's AIOLITH 2025. Don't miss out.